welcome everybody to the next installment of our Wednesday walks through Culver history. Every Wednesday here at 4 o'clock on Culver Academies History Facebook page. I'm Jeff Kenney, Museum and Archives Manager for Culver Academies. I want to thank Jerry Nye, class of 57, who's behind the camera today, as in the past. And today, as you may guess, we're in really a beautiful, beautiful building, a beautiful, fairly recent addition, but connecting us to a great, rich history here at the school. We're in the golf house here on the Culver Academies golf course, which the golf house goes back only to 2016, a beautiful place. And just a quick step back in time to the origins of this really beautiful course. Really, golf is a craze in the early 20th century, and the Culver family, by 1922, they've got plans already underway to design this course. And as you can see in this old drawing here behind me, originally it was conceived as a 27-hole course, and it's designed by Langford and Moreau, who are two really of the great, and you can see some imagery there of Langford and Moreau, two of the great course designers of the Midwest, certainly, if not the nation, at that time. So they designed this beautiful 27-hole course in 1922. By 1923, the course is completed. It's open really for play for cadets. It's all cadets, of course, at that time, 1924. That's also the same year that Culver hosted the first annual Indiana State Golf Championship, so already really on the map. In 1926, U.S. and British Open champion golf legend, really, Walter Hagen played this course, and a number of other folks came through. It's a really highly used course, not only by Culver students, but for some exhibition games. So I'm here with another familiar face here in our Wednesday walks, my colleague at the Culver Academies Museum, Tony, and of course many, many hats he's worn over the decades of his service to Culver. Tony Mayfield, class of 65, who also has a love for the game of golf and a long history with golf here at Culver.
Sure, Jeff. It's great to be here back on a Wednesday walk, but particularly talking about the golf course. Golf has been a big part of my life, literally since I started playing when I was about 9 years old. And when I got to Culver as a fourth classman, it was one of those pieces that helped kind of get me started and get me going, and it was something I could really get into. But Irv Nelson here, Irv was the coach from 1926 until 1961, and so I was on his last team that Irv had, and you know, what a gentleman he was, what a sweet guy that would start us on the. Here's a picture up on the in the indoor track, and we had these canvas hitting ranges that we would go into and be able to hit balls in the wintertime. And then, of course, as springtime came on, we'd be out at the golf course and playing. Even after he retired, Irv would always be, or at least in those years I was still here through 65, would be at our matches and come out and encourage us, and again was just a real gentleman of the game and an iconic figure really during that history of the Academy from 1926 to 1961. So that was a long period. But again, golf was my home away from home here at the Academy and coming out here to the course. And only recently, I guess, did I realize what a magnificent course I was playing on all those years. I always knew it had wonderful rolling fairways and contour, things of that nature. But once the restoration took place, the course really blossomed. And it's been a great place for alums and people to come back to and enjoy. After Irv Nelson retired, the incoming golf coach was Tom Baker, pictured here actually in the summertime with a couple of, looks like naval cadets. But Tom took over that team in 1962, and so I was on his first golf team. And I think he maintained his coaching position with the golf team probably until from about 62 until about 72 or 73. And also went on, I think, to become the basketball coach and the AD, things of that nature. So Tom played a real integral part as well in the development of the golf team and the kind of tournaments. It was during Tom's tenure that we started the CMA Invitational, where we would invite 10, 15 other teams to come play on a weekend, and that has continued to be part of the program. So that Tom was another integral part of what happened here at the golf program. Now, following in that, looking at who the coaches have been over the years, certainly one of the real strengths of the Academy golf program was the tenure of Fred Haase. Fred was coaching the golf team. I think he and I both kind of started working with Tom Baker as young faculty members, probably 74. That's when I was here, and Fred was actually here, I think, a year or two ahead of me in 72 or 73. So Fred was working with the golf team and served in that capacity, guys, until 2013-ish, something like that. And really, again, upped the level of the program, so it was really one of the top high school golf programs in the state, certainly in the northern part of the state. Had a number of sectional, regional champions throughout the year, and his daughter, Caroline, pictured here, was the 2001 girls state champion. So we've never had a team golf champion in terms of either girls or boys at the Academy, but we've had two individuals. Caroline was one, and then Barry Sewell from Oklahoma was the 1993 boys golf state champion. So we've had a couple of really outstanding individuals. We've had lots of great young players here that have probably gone on to do some nice things in college and so on. But these two at the high school level were our two outstanding, and now have a very fine player on the girls team as well. So this continues that tradition, and of course this golf house that we're in right here today really makes it a place where the kids can gather and parents can come and watch matches and things like this. So, yeah, continuing that concept or thinking about the golf house, actually the one pictured here was a kind of the golf shack, so to speak, really. But this is what Irv Nelson was using. This is showing it in the 1940s, and it was literally placed out under the trees on the first tee. Today, where the first tee is, and where really it's always been, is where that golf house was. And of course, when I was coming out during my cadet days in the 60s, this is where we would gather each day, talk to the coach, and get ready for play or matches or whatever the case may be. Then in 1967, a new golf house was built, one level facility, one story. It was used all during the coaching years that I was involved with Fred, coaching teams out here. Yeah, but the golf house, that served that purpose very well during those days, and again, gave us a better facility. Kids could store their clubs, and there was some locker space that they had, so they could, maybe clean up a little bit afterwards, things like this before heading back. But a great spot, and we also used to have a number of alumni golf tournaments during the 60s, and the golf house was part of the alumni effort to upgrade the facilities out here at the course.
Okay, I'm standing here on the second floor of the golf house. It's beautiful vistas, beautiful panoramic view of the course, and just to kind of bring the story forward a little bit, by 1927, the Vedette, the Culver newspaper, was reporting that some 2,000 players were using this course every month, so it's getting quite a lot of use. And that may have fed into the Culver family's plans to go forward with that 27-hole layout in the 1930s. In fact, they had planned a golf resort. If you're familiar with what we today call the KK Cottage, it's named for Knight K. Culver, the son of the founder, one of the sons of the founder, Henry Harrison Culver. This was a cottage he had built on the corner there of the course back in the 19-teens, and by 1935 it was being renovated to be a golf hotel for use as part of a kind of broader plan to expand and make a resort here. Of course, the Depression, among other things, really kind of killed that plan, and actually in the years following, as World War II followed the Depression, a lot of the original design kind of began to gradually wear away. Funds weren't really there, a lot of distractions. Although one historic event that happened during those war years in 1943, Byron Nelson, who was kind of an international golf figure for winning, among other things, winning 11 straight PGA championships, played here on the course an exhibition game against the legendary Colonel Whitney and Irv Nelson and Frank Wolitis, who was a coach and teacher here and a great golfer at Culver during that time. So again, the course kind of went fallow in terms of its original design in those decades to follow. So many of us, if you're a living alum, you remember the course really not as it was designed in the 20s, but as it kind of devolved, if you will, a little bit, and some of the bunkers and things were filled in over time.
Yeah, as Jeff said, the course really did evolve, and not only did it not have, I think we only had one sand trap all during the years that I was playing, and literally probably for 40 or 50 years. But now, with the restoration of the course by the Bobby Weed Company, it is now sand in every bunker, and there's some long greenside sand shots, and they added about 15 to 20,000 square feet of green space. So it's really amazing because these greens had grown in. And really one of the unique pieces of this course is the size and the undulation of the greens. So you can see the undulation behind me with the actual fairways, but the greens are magnificent and really present a great challenge to the golfer. One of the great things of this area is that we now have a really qualified greenskeeper, Mr. Mike Vesley. He and his staff have done a wonderful job of keeping the restoration up and enabling us to have a magnificent golf course. So again, this golf house and up here on the veranda, so to speak, the second floor, as Jeff pointed out, it's a wonderful place for alumni gatherings, for team activities, for parents to come up and watch a match, things of this nature. So I'm encouraging and always do all alumni to come back and pay a visit here to have the chance to play this course. It really, really is a great venue and something I think you'll truly enjoy. So come back and tee it up.
All right, I'm here in front of the beautiful new entryway to the golf course. Of course, we see the lead donor for the current incarnation of the course, R. Stewart Dixon, class of '47, acknowledged one of many generous donors to the course and the golf house. And just a word about this, what you really could call a restoration. The Bobby Weed golf course design firm handled that. It was interesting at the Museum and Archives for Culver, where we are located. We were able to provide aerial photos, the layout that was originally drawn back in the 20s, and a lot of correspondence about the course. And so using all of that, they really brought back that old 20s design and really resurrected the course as it was originally designed, kind of in its golden age. So again, beautiful place to be, beautiful place to see, beautiful place to play.
In addition to the beautiful new sign, the R. Stewart Dixon 47 Culver Academies golf course, immediately to my right, as you drive into the course, will be a gate. There's a new gate post, and that will be it's a wonderful addition, and a plaque that that is from Jerry Warner, class of '65, that says "Gateway to the Game of a Lifetime. May all who pass here enjoy golf and the essence of this honorable game."
All right, again, thanks to Tony Mayfield, class of '65, Jerry Nye, class of '57, behind the camera. I'm Jeff Kenney, Museum and Archives Manager for Culver. Join us again next Wednesday at 4 for our next installment of Wednesday Walks Through Culver History.